around this great circuit. In the Ardennes Forest, we are here, and there may be some wet weather to deal with, but for the drivers' sake, they're going to hope that they don't have one, or they don't have the wet weather. But after the first two rounds, it's currently Red Bull leading the way in both the Drivers' and the Constructors' Championship, as Toro leads the drivers' standings. He's actually only 1 point ahead of Rajic, because I don't know why he's ahead, because I know he is ahead because he's got a first place in Silverstone and a second place. The reason why Rajic has 17 points from a third place, I assume, is because he got a point for pole and fastest lap in Silverstone. Kevin is third, followed by Cesord, Damian, Nico's son, and then it gets into the reserve drivers like Leonard. We're just waiting to go, and it is sunny and dry for qualifying here at the longest circuit on the calendar. I'm going to get the chat up in case anyone wants to, well, chat with me. It seems that there is hold on, I'm gonna just go onto the live part of the stream. I can't see anything on the stream. It seems that there's no picture. We'll be going soon now, and there we go, we've got it now. So we have a few drivers, I think, coming out onto the circuit. I can hear some engines rumbling and some drivers raring to go for this race. One of the Ferraris is first out on circuit. It's not Jix, it's his teammate, Kevin Van Dijk. So he will make his way towards Eau Rouge for the first time. If I were these drivers, I wouldn't be pushing on this lap, because if you do a full lap trying to get your tyres up to temperature, you're going to make like 3 or 4% wear on your tyres. If I were them, I would I think it's better to start on cold tyres that are 0% worn than it is to start on warm tyres that are 4% worn, for example. It's a very long circuit here. I remember once in a league racing qualifying around here in 2020, in F1 2020, I did that exact strategy. I crawled around my outlap and got like third place in the qualifying session because I had fresh tyres and everyone else had decided to burn out their tyres on their outlap and just tried to go full pelt on their outlap. So I think there's an advantage to be gained there by doing this here at Spa. Obviously slightly remodeled for this game. You can see how some of the curbs are a lot thinner than they have been in previous years. This track previously, up until 2023, hadn't been remodeled since 2015. That just shows you how far behind Codemasters are in the F1 games, but it got remodeled, and now the curbs are a lot smaller in places, and the paint and stuff has been changed up on some parts of the circuit, especially going up to Eau Rouge. Now going up towards the final chicane, the bus stop, and onto the fast lap with Kevin. So we'll do a little bit of an overview of this qualifying lap. He breaks just after the 100 metre board into a tight, tricky right-hand hairpin that has been the cause of so many casualties in previous races in Formula 1, especially in the last like 10 years or so. Romain Grosjean obviously went there. As Tamer Andadi has retired from the session. I'm not sure if he's just trying to do a last to first challenge. That may be what he's trying to do, or he's got a qualifying ban of some sort. As we come up for Eau Rouge and Radion, down the Kemmel Straight, all flat out. One of the longest flat-out runs on the Formula 1 calendar. Now into Lecom, all over the curbs he is, trying to make sure he gets all of the track limits. Now through Lecom, nicely done, up through Marmondy, now in towards Rivage. Very tricky downhill braking zone, but he's managed to get it working just correctly. In towards No Name, also known as Speaker's Corner, also known as X Corner, because they gave it a few names in the past couple of years. Now into Pouon, flat out from Kevin here as we come through on towards the Fagny chicane. He's going to brake as the curb approaches. Just after the curb approaches, more so on the the Sector 2 line as my phone's just buzzed and giving me a heart attack because I didn't know what that was for a second. Now in towards Stavolo and into the Porvera curve. Now we come towards Blanchimont, a flat out run from the previous corner down all the way to the bus stop. He's using this hot lap ERS mode. He's got a lot of ERS still to deploy, so this is definitely a banker run from Kevin. He's definitely going to deploy some out of the final corner, but he will not be able to dump half his battery in one go. That's a 1 minute 42.0 for the Ferrari man, first off. Next up is Frobel. Frobel goes 1.9 seconds slower. That just proves how quick Kevin goes. 1 second behind for little Tom. Werner coming up towards the line. He goes 1 minute 44.6, 2.6 seconds off. You will see bigger gaps between drivers here because it's just a longer circuit. Therefore, the drivers will spread out more. Nico's son, impressively, up to a 1 minute 42.1. Talha will be next. Up to the line he comes. It's a 1 minute 42.2. So we do have some competition for Kevin. But Kevin, remember, wasn't really using all of his ERS. He had about half of his battery still remaining. And around a power circuit like Spa, that will provide you a huge advantage, in my opinion. As we see the Haas coming across the line of Enzo. He's a new driver, it seems. Up to the line, a 1 minute 43.1. Just 9 thousandths of a second behind his teammates. Toto! No, not Toto. Rajic goes to the top of the timesheets. A 1 minute 41.6 for him there. And now, I mean, Toto is on a lap. So we should maybe go on board with Toto. Because he's currently gearing up towards his own run. We'll come up towards the Sector 2 split in a long time, actually, because we've just entered Sector 2. The sectors around here are very long, and Toto is being aggressive with his inputs. It seems that he's really on the edge of the grip as he tries to duck in towards the slipstream of the car that he's just gone by. He's got a bit of traffic. The Mercedes in front may cause issues if they don't get out of the way. It looks like it's JJ. Although we now have got a 20 car grid. The last driver who was supposed to join has joined. Mayverse, that's a 1 minute 45. I hope for his sake that that's not a competitive time. As Toto is going to get DRS, he's going to get slipstream behind this Mercedes throughout the entire way. Slipstream is so powerful around here. It's so powerful. He's going to gain probably about 2 tenths just from that slipstream he's got from a Mercedes going onto his lap. I'm not sure if that was Mavis or what. That wasn't Mavis, it was Gemblebum. But Toto up to second place on a 1 minute 41.7. That was a huge advantage there from him because the Mercedes gave him a ton of leeway and margin there. Don't Play Zero, I think, is the next driver to cross the line on a lap. Either that or Mayverse. Mayverse up to the line. He's actually not. He's going on to start one. Don't Play Zero and Anderson, the two Aston Martin boys, on laps. Don't Play Zero on 1 minute 43.7. Not a very impressive time from him there. As Anderson still needs to set a lap. I think everyone else is just cruising around into the pit lane. So Anderson, he's not had the best couple of weeks. He has been competitive in previous races, but I haven't seen him do much in the past couple of weeks, so he does need to improve that aspect of his driving. He's coming through Sector 2 now. Obviously, we want to see him up at the top. We want to see all the drivers competing right at the top of the timesheets. As Max Fan says, hello Nedzo, how are you doing and where is Jelly? And how many SC plus top 3 plus qualified plus race? Jesus Christ, it's question time here. So how are you doing? I'm doing fine. My YouTube video came out today, a video I did on Nico Hulkenberg. Interesting topic that was. Where is Jelly? Don't know. He just told me that I was commentating on my own today, so he's maybe got something on of his own. And how many safety cars? Well, it's VDRL and it's Spa. Obviously, as Nardo goes to a 1 minute 41.9, impressive stuff from him there. But Anderson's on his lap, and how many safety cars and top stuff? I think, well, there's only 22 laps around here, So therefore, it's going to be harder to have like 3 or 4 safety cars. I think 2 would be a fair number to have around here. As Anderson goes up into P8, in a decent enough lap time from him. Top 3 qualifying in race. I think Kevin will get pole again, because Kevin always gets pole, and then I think it'll be Rajic then Toto, because I don't think Toto is very confident with his car at the moment. And then in the race, I think Rajic will win, followed by Toto, and I'll say Mavis, because Mavis has just got up to 4th place, and he's always up in the mix. I think Kevin's too much of a bottler nowadays, as Jix has come into the pits, because he's invalidated his lap time, unfortunately for him. I'm not sure who the next driver is to cross the line. I think it might be Froebel, sorry. Actually, Froebel is preparing for a lap. Werner isn't, though. Squirter is preparing for a lap. But so Werner will be the next driver to cross the line on his flyer. Currently in 15th place, the Sauberman. He's not very confident at all, it seems. He's going into the pits, actually. Squirter started a lap. Anderson will be coming into the pits. Kevin has started a lap. Mavis is making good out of the pits. But Kevin has got a huge slipstream from the Alpine, from the Williams in front of him. That was a huge slipstream from the car in front there. So Kevin currently trying to gun for pole position at the moment. Yellow flags in sector 1, and Kevin spun! Kevin has spun it! He's not hit anything, luckily for him, but Kevin has spun it. He was on the edge of grip there, and that proves just how much he was pushing there. I think someone else has spun behind him. I think that's one of the Alpines. Squirter, I think, if the Squirter wasn't pushing, or he's also spun. So several drivers getting caught out, I think, by what was happening in front of them. As yeah, that was interesting. Talhat and Damian now the ones I think furthest along on their lap times. And now Talhat moves into a prime position here, because if he can just improve by about half a second, he's right in the mix for a podium position. As he comes through sector 2, and he'll come up towards the sector 2 split soon. There we go, 3 times up at the moment. I did say he was looking good, and now he's going to use a lot of overtake down this straight. He's got all of it to burn. He may as well do so. Don't know why he isn't still burning it, because he'll not have any more to burn. And now coming in towards the last sector and the last corners on the circuit. He comes out of the final corner, and it's going to be a 1 minute 41.9. Very good lap time from him to move into P4. His teammate Damian is slowing down and has decided not to cross the line and beat his lap time. I think he might be going around to try and get back into the pit lane. Not sure exactly why, but he's doing that. Anderson is starting a lap, or he's just finished one. He stays P8. Jix is on an out lap. He's about to start one. Ice Cream, who currently hasn't set a lap, is now trying to embark on his quest for P1. What can he do in that RB car? Obviously, in real life, we've had some controversy with the RB cars. Allow Daniel Ricciardo has now left the team, and now Liam Lawson will take over his role from the next Grand Prix onwards. All the Daniel Ricciardo fans who don't realise that Daniel's been shit for the last few years, complaining, oh, it wasn't a fair send-off. It doesn't matter. In F1, if you aren't a good driver and you haven't proven your worth, it doesn't matter who you are. There's no good send-off. It's not like football or another sport where they have testimonial matches and stuff. Just because you want to feel that hard done by because your favourite driver isn't good anymore. Come on. Oh, and Kevin's out. Kevin has just spun. Kevin has just spun out. Off the last corner, pushing on a lap time. Kevin has spun out. And that really will make him struggle to make his way through the pack. If people can improve and track evolution can improve in the last couple of minutes of a session, Kevin might be in trouble here. His teammate Jix, who hasn't currently set a lap, is improving. Well, obviously he's improving, he's not got a lap currently. But that will affect Kevin's starting position, because people like Nico-san could easily crawl up into a good position. Jix into 9th place. Ice Cream, I think he's trying to get back to the pits as quick as possible. It'll be touch and go as to whether he can get out in time, because of how long the lap is around the Spa-Francorchamps circuit. As Nardo is improving. Well, he's not actually improving. He's decided to come into the pits. He wants another go at his lap. Ozan Izik also on the lap, along with Don't Play Zero. Don't Play Zero currently 2 tenths up. That could put him into 14th place. Really battling for the wooden spoon there, Don't Play Zero. But what do you expect? It's Don't Play Zero. P15 still for him. Ozan's getting a beautiful slipstream from the Mercedes in front. I'm not sure who that is. That's JJ, who is fighting in that. He probably won't want to do that because he's fighting with JJ for these lower positions. But unless Ozan can improve, let's see what he can do through these last 2 corners. Onto the main straight. Ozan comes up to the line. It's P13. P13 for Ozan. He moves up 1 position. JJ starts a lap. Werner also starting a lap. He's managed to get into the 144s. Squirter has decided to lift up. Oh, Squirter I think has just been held up. Unless he's in AI, which is also an opportunity that's happened. Everyone is coming out to the pits now. I want to see if there's any drivers who are actually on laps. Ozan has retired from the session. Ozan has retired on track, I think, there. I'm not sure who exactly is on laps and who isn't. So it's all the guys at the bottom of the pack, actually. JJ, I think, is the furthest along on his lap. I think it's JJ, because Don't Play Zero isn't pushing at the moment. He's trying to get around to do another lap, I think. I don't know how long we've got in the session, but I think it's about 1 minute 30, 1 minute 47. JJ flying through Piron now. And in towards the Fagnes chicane. He'll see his Delta come up in a few seconds time. 1.5 tenths up. If he keeps going like he is, he'll get ahead of Don't Play Zero, but that will be all for his session. Then it will probably be Fröbel and Werner. Werner's 2 tenths up as well, but that's not very impressive for his sake. I'm not sure who will be the next person to actually cross the line. As Squirter's gone P16, only got 1 run in. He did only get 1 run in, and JJ's decided to pit. Werner's lost it off the back end of the last corner, so Werner will not improve. As Enzo's just gone up into P11. Everyone now starting their laps. Talha, I think, was the first one to start his flying lap. Here we go. So let's go on board with the McLaren driver, who's been doing so well and has been putting in some great performances as of recently. He's got a Haas in front of him. I think that is Enzo. Let's hope that he doesn't get in his way. But more importantly for him, he'll hope he's off the track. There we go. He'd have hoped that he could have given him some slipstream there, but he didn't do so. But now Talha will approach Sector 1 split, a 10th up already. He has a chance at pole position here if no one else improves, but the likelihood is that the guys at Red Bull will be improving. Comes in towards Ravage now. Nicely done through there. Clock has stopped. Anyone who hasn't started their lap will not be able to finish it. There's a car in the 3rd sector who is kind of running off, when I think that might be Squirter. But we'll stay on board, or I'm going to stay on board with Talha. Martin can do whatever he wants with the drivers that he wants to go on board with. But Talha's coming up towards the 2nd sector split. Oh, a bit of a jerk on the steering there. But now Talha coming in towards the 2nd sector split. We see He goes on he goes 900 second up. Toto and Rajic are both on laps 2, but I'm going to stay with Talha on my screen. I'm not sure what Martin's going to do. But we're moving towards the final section of this lap. Talha could get provisional pole here. He'd have to be lucky. He'd have to pull something out of the bag in this last part of the lap. But he comes up to the line. And it goes third. Next across the line, I think, will be Rajic. Can Rajic pull his magic out of the hat? I think that's Nardo into the pits. Nicoson has displaced Kevin. So Kevin's down to 7th. Rajic loses the back end off of the final corner. Rajic goes P1, but can Toto do enough to beat him potentially? As at Mayverse and Nardo going slowly. Anderson coming up to the line. Anderson stays P8. Toto is coming up to the final 2 corners on the circuit. Can he do enough to displace his teammates? Yes, he can. It's Toto on pole by 1.5 tenths of a second. Little Tom is the last driver to cross the line, but he is invalid. That shall be everything for this qualifying session. Toto is on pole. Rajic is in 2nd place, and they are clear of everyone else by half a second or so. Talha in 3rd, followed by Nardo, Mayverse, Nicoson, Kevin down in 7th. The last of those drivers around the 141, 142 mark. Anderson in 8th, followed by Jix, Ice Cream, Damian, Enzo, Little Tom, Ozanizik, Trouble, 000, Squirter, JJ, Werner, and Tamer Randari didn't get to set a lap time. But that was an interesting qualifying. It's a Red Bull 1-2, just like it is in the championship, just like it was in at least one of the races this season. I can't remember which one it was, but it is Alan Toto on pole, the Polish Prince. Well, we don't have royalty in Poland, so I don't know why I said Polish Prince. The Polish Prime Minister of pole positions is what I'll call him. Followed by Rajic with his magic, Talha, Nardo, Mayverse, Nicoson, Kevin, who spun out and crashed earlier in the session, then Anderson, Jix, Ice Cream, Damian, Enzo, Little Tom, Ozan, Frubble, Dunblazer, Squirter, JJ, Werner, and Tamer Andari, who didn't set a lap time, rounds out the grid. So now we load into the race. It's dry, which is boring. That's boring, but we're going to move hopefully soon in towards the start of this race. We have 20 drivers aiming to get the win here at one of the crown jewel events on the calendar. The Belgian Grand Prix is definitely a crown jewel. So we're just waiting for some action here in Belgium. Not sure. I think we're just waiting for the drivers to be given the go-ahead. But once we get that, we'll be getting ready to go. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights here in Spa, and we are all ready. Go before they've gone out as we come down towards turn 1. For some reason, I can't seem to... There we go. It's all sorted out now as Toto leads into turn 1. Talha takes P2 away from Rajic as we move our way down towards Radion Anno Rouge. Let's see if Talha can slipstream off the back of Toto, potentially, and take the lead before we get to the second sector. Talha tucking into the slipstream of the Red Bull in front of him as the fields filter through. And now Talha pulling alongside, and now Talha attempting to take the lead, but he doesn't do so. That's Rajic trying to go from the outside, and it's a four-way scrap for this lead as they come in towards this part of the circuit. Toto maintains the lead, but he's off! Toto has gone off! He's gone off to move to the gravel. Down the order he goes, and he plummets towards the back of the field. Talha takes the lead, followed by Nardo, and then Mayverse takes P3 off of Rajic. So it's commiseration for the two Red Bulls who started on the front row. Neither of them are even in the top 3 by the end of the first sector, as now Talha leads us down towards Pouon. Sector 1 yellow flags, I'm not sure what that is, but Toto is down in 18th place, and that will provide commiserations for him as Tamer Andadi loses a position to Don't Play Zero. Tamer Andadi up 4 positions, but Toto down 16 from his early escapades into the gravel. Oh my goodness me. So Talha leads us on this opening lap, followed by Nardo, followed by Mavis, followed by Rajic, who is down 2 positions, followed by the rest of the field, and oh my goodness me. Toto's trying to overtake, and that's caused contact between him and Tamer Andadi, because he's trying to fight his way through the pack, and now the Williams up the inside, Tamer Andadi on Don't Play Zero, but he's Toto having to fight through these slower cars, and this is going to ruin his race. If there's a spinner on the back, it's Little Tom into the barriers, and now Toto up into 13th because he's just sent a move on Tamer Andadi and the cars in front of him. Jix down to 10th, he's had a bit of an off. But Toto already up to 13th and now fighting for 12th with Tamer Andadi, trying to get moved into Eau Rouge. But now for the lead, I think we're going to see a move for the first position. Nardo around the outside of Talha, and Mavis trying to get involved too. But now we see a change for the lead on lap 2. As now Toto's still far behind. His yellow flags are in sector 1 and sector 3. There doesn't seem to be anyone in particular who's gone off as Frobel and Don't Play Zero make contact, and Don't Play Zero nearly gets chewed up and spat out by the gravel there. Tamer Andadi at the inside of his teammate Ozan Izik. As Squirter has DNF, Squirter has decided to retire his car. And now Toto's still stuck behind this pack of cars. He'll be lucky he started on the mediums instead of the softs. I don't know who started on what tyres actually, that's a very good point. Might want to check that out. It's mostly on mediums, but a couple of drivers out on the softs, quite impressively. So Talha and Mavis aren't doing very well considering what tyres they're on, and Toto is on edge. You can see his driving. He's losing the back end every now and again. And Ozan, and he's lost the back end again. Oh, and that's a position lost to Don't Play Zero, who's trying to go from the inside of him in towards Paul Frey. He's just fighting the car, driving too angrily. He is. He needs to realise that trying to fight super hard, and there's contact between Don't Play Zero and Frobel. I think that was wing damage for one of them. As now Don't Play Zero filters in behind the two, and Toto is now back up on the back of those Williams. He's basically pushing that Williams around the corner as Damian in front is trying to overtake Jix. And now Toto will try to make a move. He won't try and make a move into La Source, but now Jix and I think that was Jix and Damian were fighting there. Rajic is right on the back of Talha, who's right on the back of Mavis. We might see a move for P2 here. Rajic around the outside of Talha. Easy move for him there. Could he even get it on Mavis by the end of the straight? It doesn't seem so. He's definitely got more top speed than him, though. As Damian overtakes Jigs and Toto overtakes Ozan Izik. Toto needs to play the long game here. He knows that he's got these cars around him that are slower than him. He cannot be trying to push too hard, though, because if he does, those tyres will easily burn out. And now Tamer trying to overtake Jigs. Jigs pushing all the way to the inside. That was a fair defensive move from the Ferrari driver. All it's doing, though, is it's holding Toto up. He's already 8 seconds off the lead just because of the amount of cars that are in front of him. The field is spreading out, and that is costing him time. It is costing him lots of time, because like even now, like he's losing about 0.2 per corner because the guys in front of him are just slow. He cannot seem to get past them because we are in this twisty part of the circuit, and he can't do very well unless he's on a straight. As Nico Son overtakes Talha for P4, and Rajic is right on the back of Mavis. So while Rajic's teammate Toto is struggling like hell to get these positions, Rajic is making his light work of the guys in front of him. Toto now into 11th and trying to advance on Jix round the outside of the bus stop, and contact between the pair. And that's now Jix trying to keep the position, and that's a Williams of Tamer Andadi trying to fight for on the outside on those hard tyres. Toto is just overcompensating for a lack of positions here. Kevin up 2 positions from a move at La Source, but he's now going to be under threat from the DRS behind. So Kevin's struggling. This is going to provide us with a surprise win of this race, I can tell you that for certain, as Tamer repasses Toto. Anderson re-overtakes Kevin. Talha close behind the pair. Now Toto trying to get back past Tamir Andadi, but it's not enough. He's not got enough ERS. He's pushing too hard on the ERS. He needs to hope for a strategy miracle or a safety car to bunch the field back up again as Enzo and Gembleman pass Don't Play Zero, who is struggling. I mean, it's Don't Play Zero, what do you expect? But Nardo is pulling clear of the pack on those medium tyres. He's 2 seconds clear at the front, where everyone else around him decided they were going to have calamitous starts. He's just decided, you know what? I'm going to get to the front and I'm just going to lead. I'm going to have no chaos around me, thank you. And now Toto is 10 seconds off the lead. He's losing about 2 seconds a lap, purely because he's having to follow much, much slower drivers. We're literally already nearly a quarter of the way through this race. And that's just how it is at Spa. The laps are so long here that you only do 22 of them. Like Monaco, a 50% race would be 39 laps. That's basically double the lap total as Toto. To the outside, he's on the grass. Oh, trying to pass Tamir Andadi and Jix. That was never going to work. I don't know why. He's trying to send these bonsai crazy moves. It reminds me of Charles Leclerc in Monaco in 2019. He's trying so hard to get past drivers, not realising that the bigger battle is just by picking them off slowly one by one and taking your time. Because yes, he's got past Tamir Andadi, but he's now got a 6/10 gap to Jix. And he's got a massive ERS deficit because he's tried to send these moves at audacious places. As the ice cream overtakes Talha there. No real fight for that one. Toto now trying to get past Jix as Kevin moves past Anderson. But Toto now to the inside. I thought he was going to try and make it free wide there. But he just bumped the back of Jix. That was, I'm not sure how I feel about that. That was a car rescue bumping. Oh, there's a nearly spin there for Tamir Andadi. And Toto is fighting for his last position. He's all over the curbs even, trying to just send it around the outside of Jix. Jix is not going to have that though. He will not let you put a fast driver who has been stuffed by the shit handling physics of this game, still has the good racecraft that has served him well on F123. And now this is going to be the bane in Toto's existence, having someone like Jix, who, although isn't the fastest of drivers, is definitely very good in racecraft. If Jix wants to keep him behind, he will. And if Kevin has any sense and they're on the same call, he will be on the phone to Jix going, hold this guy up as much as you possibly can. And Toto will know that. He will know that there is threat from Jix, who will be wanting to hold him up. He's down to 7th gear even through this section of circuit, and Tamir Andadi is getting involved as Nicholson and Maver switch positions. But I think this battle is more important personally because it's going to ruin Toto's race if he can't get by soon. He'll probably just get by on this straight, but he needs to then pull away from Jix too. As you can see, he's being sensible now. He's not sending the risky, stupid moves he was doing before. He's 12 seconds off the lead now. He's not going to win this race, obviously. That mistake on lap 1 at Les Combes really screwed him. And now he goes, switches back on Jix. To the outside he goes with DRS and DRS. He will have done. He's trying to pull, not just pull ahead, but pull a gap as Tamir Andadi trying to overtake Jix. That will be music to Toto's ears because now these two are going to fight. Tamir Andadi actually gets by and they don't fight. But now Toto needs to try and pull away. He's got clean air. He needs to just try and pull away from that pairing of drivers. Cool. This is a tough race for Toto. He's got 2 cars in front of him that are nowhere near DRS, which will not help his fight towards the front. I initially said there was going to be 2 safety cars. Now I think there might not even be 1. But Nardo is still got that healthy gap at the front. Rajic, well, he's not a healthy gap in second, but he's out of the DRS of Nico-san, who's now trying to pull out the DRS of Mayverse. As Toto is pulling in and closing up to Talha, as those soft tyres might be starting to go off for the McLaren driver, or at least be worse at this point in the race for the McLaren driver. Yellow flags in sector 1, and that's one of the Mercedes offers JJ. JJ spun it. And he does get back onto the circuit safely. Toto is closed right up to the back of Talha on this lap. 1 second the gap now. It was 2.4 last time I checked. He's properly going for it. He's trying to get the DRS, and I think he might have got it here. The DRS will be crucial because it will just allow him to pull closer to the leaders. He was 12 seconds off the lead. He's still 12 seconds off the lead as Anderson and Kevin fight for P5. But Tamer Andari passing Toro. He's trying to keep it around the outside. That's not enough. He's going to have to cut to the outside. He's going to have to slot him back behind Tamer because he would have kept that position by staying by gaining an unfair advantage by going off track. And now it's going to cause problems for him. Tamer isn't slow by any means. He's managed to keep with him, which is a good as Don't Play Zero has gone off and lost his front wing, I think. No, he hasn't actually. You can't really see the front wing from that point of view. And Nardo, bro. This man has been doing an excellent job. 4.6 seconds in the lead. That's about half a second a lap. He's just pulled away from the cars around him. Fantastic job from him. As now Anderson and Mavers going side by side. And Tamer Andari right up the back of Talha. Barging side pods there. As Talha tried to push him all the way to the outside. But Tamer Andari doesn't have that. He's far too sensible for that. Straight around the outside and just does it. Toro, meanwhile, has fallen back behind these two. He's 7 tenths off the back of the pair. When he was previously right up the back, maybe he was just trying to make sure he didn't get involved in any incident. As now he's got DRS on Talha, who's himself got DRS on Tamer Andari. Ozan Izik into the pits, must have damage from maybe that collision with Don't Play Zero. Werner moves up the positions because of Ozan Izik's pit stop. Toro has all the momentum on Talha. It goes to the inside, to the outside, as Mavers makes the move on Anderson. DRS wide open as he closes up to the back of Tamer Andari. Yep, Toro is now 15 seconds off the lead. He's lost about 2 seconds a lap purely because he cannot keep with these. He cannot get past these guys and drop people like Tamer. Admittedly, those mediums probably are worse than the hards at this point because Tamer has been very clever with his strategy. And I assume he's going to go hard soft and hope for a safety car at some point. But I don't think that safety car's coming. Like, don't get me wrong, the field is pretty close together in some places, but it's not like we have multiple cars fighting over positions, which is usually how you get safety cars, because people just stack up really quickly. Like, the closest real battle we have between multiple cars is probably Nico Sun down to Kevin. As now one of the drivers is coming into the pits. Mavers into the pits. He's decided to go ditch those soft tyres and go. I think I never like coming into the pits when you're in the DRS of someone because you can just stay in that momentum gap, and unless he's trying to do an undercut of some sort, I don't think that will work per se. But now Furble overtakes Jix for P10. Now Toro right behind Tamer Andari as Tar has fallen off the back of the pair. Kevin and Anderson also trading positions. Toro on the grass trying to overtake Tamer Andari. Does it. Now into P7. But obviously some drivers are pitted, so that is not a de facto P7. Mavers has come out in clean air. But it's a case of can he keep up with the guys around him. He's definitely gaining on the likes of Damian. Very quickly, in fact. But yeah, we're going to have to see some heroics from Toro as he loses the back end. Oh my god, and Tamer Andari back through. He needs to stop trying to push 100%. Pushing at 95% will get you up there just fine, mate. As Toro gets a 3-second time penalty, he's pushing too hard. Yellow flag and set to 3. Someone's gone off, I think. That's Ice Cream. Ice Cream has gone off. Down outside the points he goes. He might have a... he's not got a puncture. He won't have a puncture on mediums. He would have just spun off the exit of Bullfrey curve. Tamer Andadi, though, has been a thorn in the side for Toto. Great race from Tamer Andadi as Taha into the pits. I don't know. This could be a set of mediums. If he's got 10 laps on a set of softs, he could definitely go. Yeah, he's going on to a set of mediums. He's going on to another set of mediums. Now, Nardo gets a 3-second time penalty. I mean, he's gap, so he can afford to do that, but it's still not ideal for him. Now Anderson overtakes Nico-san. Toto at the inside of Tamer Andadi. If he just worked with Tamer Andadi rather than trying to fight him, they could definitely help each other out. As now we just saw someone else get a time penalty. I think that might have been I looked away. It might have been Little Tom actually. As now we see Toto, he's now still in the DRS of Tamer, but he's not really doing that well compared to, obviously, I don't think those mediums will be as good as those hards at this point in the race, but as now Nardo is into the pits, Nardo has decided to come in. No one else has decided to follow him, though. No, Nico-san has. 3-second time penalty for Ozan. As now Nardo will go on to, I assume, a set of hards. Oh, and he's got a time penalty he has to serve. Oh, no, he didn't. It was like, oh, safety car. What's the safety car for? JJ has crashed. Safety car. So the guys who've just pitted will be kicking themselves. That will completely eliminate Nardo's gap as they try and sort their order off. As Ice Cream so nearly got wiped out by the safety car there because he was trying to swoop ahead of Nico-san. Jesus Christ, that was horrible. You should have seen that from my POV, Martin, if you got it from that POV. And now the leaders have a choice to make. Do you go for softs here? Because if you're a guy at the front who are on mediums, do you go for softs? Because you'll spend like 1 or 2 laps under safety, or actually a few laps under safety car. That will save you a ton. If you can be sensible, it can save you a ton of tyre wear. And you'll be on so much better tyres than everyone else, for example, because obviously Kevin and Anderson, Roger, Kevin and Anderson, their choices are soft or hard. If you go for softs, you'll be so much better at the start of the stint. But you will fall off towards the end, definitely, even with the safety car helping you with tyre wear. Do you come in for soft? Do you go for softs, or do you play it safe and go hards? I mean, if I was a leader, I'd actually probably go hards, because I'm not sure about punctures and stuff like that. I'd probably just play it safe, especially if I'm someone like Rajic or Kevin, who is decently quick and can do it, as everyone is into. Tamer will obviously come in for mediums. Tamer is actually probably in the best position of anyone here, because he can go to the mediums, which will be the best tyre until the end. Toto in. Nardo stays out, so he will assume the lead. As Anderson and Kevin have gone onto softs, but Rajic has gone onto the hard tyres. That is interesting. So a mix of soft and hards. A lot of drivers are going for soft towards the mid-pack. Obviously, they've got nothing to lose. They may as well take a bit of a punt on tyres. Wait! Nardo's been disqualified! Has he just overtaken the safety car? It seems not. Nardo's been disqualified for apparently ignoring a yellow flag. So that will be him going over the delta. Or it'll be him overtaking a driver. Oh, that's controversial. Will we potentially have See, I know some leagues that would do a restart for that. Obviously, I'm not suggesting that VDRL will do the same thing. I know some leagues would do a restart for that because one of the leaders has... What's happened? Oh my god, the safety car! The safety car's just bugged out. I know some leagues would genuinely do a restart for that. Because the leader has been taken out of contention by something completely out of... I've seen the stream. The stream has just gone dark for Martin. So Martin, if you could put in the commentary channel if we are restarting, just so I know, or if it's just a glitch for the reason you're not thingy in. I think we should do a lobby restart here. No restart, says Martin. That's a bold. That's bold. I'd be pissed if I was as Kevin's into the pits. He's decided to change tyres. People are saying the safety car is teleporting. I'd personally go for a restart here. Just play it safe. Yeah, Kevin and wing damage safety car slowed down, yeah. So, I mean, two drivers have been screwed over by something completely outside of their control. I mean, it's going to be controversial whichever decision you choose, but I'd personally go for a restart. Just give everyone a fair chance of racing. Personally, I'd do that. But then again, I'm not a league owner. I'm all for fair opportunities. So what happened was Nardo paused and then came out of the pause menu to find out he was like super far behind the yeah. So Nardo paused. His AI overtook the safety car. Yeah. People are calling for a restart. I think we should have a restart. Toto's calling for a restart. Yep, we're having a 25% restart. Yes. Restart. I'm gonna... Oh, and there's a massive crash into the safety car because someone's left. Oh, this is so fun, guys. I forgot to get a screenshot of the order. So yeah, guys, we are getting a restart. I'll provide you some entertainment while we wait for a new lobby to get set up. Right, so let me screenshot the order from before the safety car came in. So before the safety car came out, so safety car comes out. I'll make it so that I'd personally do it. So it's the order when everyone pitted. Right, so the order from the last moment before Martin's screen goes black. Let me just get the playback speed going. Because everyone was around the pit lane. Alright, so the last screenshot I had. Oh, I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna see if oh yeah, Martin's invited me. Oh. Alright, we're getting everyone back in. Alright, let me just see. So Gembubum and Squirtle will not be allowed to take the restart, but everyone else will get a fair chance. So we currently have 12 drivers. We need how many? I think it's 18 drivers. We've now got 13. Let me just check my noise suppression off because I can hear people outside my flat waffling and talking and shit, and I don't want it to come through on camera. Well, it's been allowed in. Mine initially said no DNF'd cars. Squirt's been allowed in. DNF excluded. Squirter DNF'd. I think Martin's just accidentally allowed Squirter in. We have 19 drivers in here at the moment. The only one we haven't. I bet it'll be Gembubum, won't it? Oh no, Gembubum. We're just missing one now. Who is it? It's the other Haas. The other Haas that isn't Enzo. It's Nardo. We need Nardo. Why is that? I'm not. He said that Nardo isn't joining. I'm asking why. Is Nardo being fucking gimpy and ruining it for everyone? Well, he started because of him, and now he's not fucking joining the fucking twat. I don't care. Martin said about community service, no swearing. Can fuck off. I know he was joking, but that community service bollocks. He's just Mohammed Ben Sulayem trying to exert his power because he doesn't like people having fun. Like, it's like when he tried to ban jewelry. Oh, see, look, this is going to sound bad, but it's just I don't see how. It does seem like Mohammed bin Sulayem is only banning the things that he doesn't like in his culture. He doesn't like, as in the Middle East and Islam. They don't like the Islam like jewelry. They don't like there's certain things they don't like, and they don't like freedom of expression. First of all, the regimes over there, which is probably what we're trying to clamp down on, and it's just not working. Bring back a competent FIA president. Like even obviously Bernie Eccleston wasn't an FIA president; he was the head of FOM, Formula One itself. But bring back Bernie Eccleston. He was a far better. But like, yes, he ran F1 into the ground, but he didn't restrict people's freedoms to speak. All he did was charge race venues ridiculous amounts of money. And now I think Squirter's just left. I think they're kicking out Squirter and what's his face? Jembabum. Right, so Friday we can start. So Jembabum is racing then. Nardo isn't because he's been a crybaby, I think. So we are ready to go. Right, we are going now. And we're going to have another race start. So after a red flag, we have another start. 11 laps. 11 laps of racing. Right. Oh, it's raining. Oh no, Martin's forgot to put it to clear weather. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's raining. Are we going to restart again? Oh my god, it's raining. Oh, and Martin's just going with it. He's just going with it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. He doesn't even need to pit. And we move to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights for a second time here in Spa. And we are go, 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 go again. Who gets the best of this time? Rajic will lead us into the turn, but Anderson will try and take P2, slipping and sliding in towards the first corner. No practice, no qualifying, no anything. So everyone is trying these conditions out for their first time so far today. Rajic takes the lead from turn 1. Kevin is in second, followed by Anderson, Nicoson, Tamer, Andani, Ice Cream, Jix, Toto as we fly over Eau Rouge. Someone spun off Eau Rouge. It's Damian. Damian is out. Damian is out. Don't Play Zero is out. Virtual Safety Car is also out. Oh my goodness me. 2 drivers out and we haven't even got to the end of the first sector. This is going to be chaotic. Oh my goodness, this is going to be absolutely treacherous. 2 drivers out, 16 remain. Right. It's getting rainy here in Spa. I think Ozan has wing damage. He does. So does Werner. 14 cars in realistic contention here. Don't play zero has left. That's fair enough. I think we're going to be going for a restart soon because the guys at the front are flooring it. We are green here in Spa. Another restart here, and Anderson's got a good one. Anderson is right up on the back of Rajic. We could see a move for the lead here in towards the bus stop. The first time we're going around here in these slippery, slidey conditions in the Ardennes Forest here. To the outside of the corner for Anderson. He will try and outbrake the Red Bull on the inside. He does do that. He is into the lead, and he's confidently assumed first position. No DRS, remember? No DRS in the rain. So if he can just pull clear of the guys behind him, he will be fine and dandy as we come in towards turn one. He's not very confident on the brakes into one, which has allowed the guy closer. But off the exit, he is fantastic at these corners. Rajic trying to deploy overtake to try and keep with him. Everyone just filtering in behind. Ozan and Werner into pits. They need to hope for an actual safety car rather than just a virtual here. And now we're moving towards the middle. We're coming towards the middle sector now. Tamer Andadi and spin nearly. Kevin and Tamer Andadi coming together off the in towards Lake Om there on the straight even. Not even the actual corner, but straight going in towards Lake Om there. And Kevin Van Dijk, he's not had the best run of races the last couple of times. He keeps making mistakes. Not sure if that was another one from him. As we filter through the second sector, Ice Cream close behind Nico Sun, and he gets forced out. Talha past Frobel into 10th. Lil Tom now past Frobel as well. Anderson has got a decent gap. He's even got more EOS to play with than Rajic. I think he's more confident in this wet weather. Of course, there isn't even racing because Martin knows you exactly. And now there's a move further behind. Mayverse up the inside of Jix. Jix still there for him. Contact as Mayverse gets forced out wide. You do not want to go onto the slippy parts of this track in the rain. It's not as bad as it is in real life, but definitely you do not want to get caught on any sausage curbs, any painted curbs really, because it will just catch you out. Mayverse up to 8th. Anderson meanwhile has pulled out an 8/10 gap at the front. A 9/10 gap even. He almost pulled a second on the cars behind. Toto, close behind Ice Cream. To the inside, he backs out of it in the end. He's decided not to go for these super aggressive banzai dive bombs. Maybe the rain has calmed him down a little bit potentially. Nico Sun, close behind Kevin. Sorry, not Kevin. He's close behind. Sorry, Ice Cream close behind Nico Sun is what I meant to say. The rain doesn't look that heavy. We could see switching to dry conditions before the end of the race. It definitely doesn't feel as wet as it was at the start of this race. Let me just have a look how the drivers, obviously, first lap was held under C. Yeah, they are, actually they're not much faster than they were the last lap. I'll keep an eye on Anderson's lap times though. Yeah, he's not much faster. Maybe a couple of tenths. That'll be him acclimatising though, that won't be him, yeah, because it's the first couple of laps of this race. But there is definitely a dry line forming. And now Tamer was looking for a gap on Rajic but didn't get one. Oh, and Rajic brake checks him on the apex of the corner. Oh, not brake checks him, he just parks the bus. Really. Tamer Andadi sets the fastest lap of the race. Confidence from the Williams man. Toto now overtaking Ice Cream. Will he get the drive off the corner though? He does get the drive off the corner. 6th position for the Red Bull man. He was fighting. He went off at the start of the race in the lead, and he's not been managed to recover since. Obviously, this restart will allow him to pull closer. He's as close as he's ever been to the lead since that mistake on lap 1. But even then, he's going to struggle. And now Mayverse at the inside of Ice Cream. Mayverse barges Ice Cream wide. Ice Cream could have stayed on track there, he just chose not to. That was a bit of a lazy move from Ice Cream, and he's got a time penalty for it as well. I wouldn't remove that afterwards. He could have easily stayed on track, he just chose not to because he was trying to be smart. The track might be drying up, you know. Tamer, for example, let me have a look at the leader. Gaining every lap. And it stopped raining. It has stopped raining. My Spidey sensors were correct, aka autism was correct. Who's going to be the first driver to pit onto a brand new set of tyres? Surely this lap we're going to see drivers come in. There's now Ice Cream and Mayverse battling again. Tamer Landari gets past Rajic. If someone in this leading pack is surely going to come in, at least one, maybe 2 or 3, or the entire field maybe, could come in for soft tyres at the end of this lap. Anderson stays out. Yellow flags in centre 3. There's a spinner in the background. That is JJ, I think. Everyone has stayed out. Mayverse has decided to risk it. That could be a very good decision. He was in the back out for the points anyway. He may as well have given it a go. Same with Little Tom. He was outside the points. He may as well give it a crack. Same with Enzo. All of these guys. Obviously, JJ may as well come in if he's got damage, especially. He decides to stay out. But people will be paying attention to the times of these guys, who I assume will go on to soft tyres. Or mediums, maybe. Softs it is. Mayverse gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. That will be fixed because that was just him going over the pit lane line. I'll keep the gap to leader on for me. I hope Martin does the same for you guys, so we can see the progress of Mayverse and Kel. Werner into the pits. He's coming in for softs. He may as well do that as well. And now Mayverse, is he gaining? Mayverse isn't gaining at the moment. He's losing time to the cars around him. Those tyres aren't quite in the temperature window just yet. But will that change in the second half of this lap? Not really. He's losing about a second on this lap so far. He just doesn't look that confident at all, to be honest. He didn't lose much through Pouon, but he did kind of cut track limits. Yeah, he's still losing time. Yep, those tyres just about aren't ready. They just about aren't in the tyre window just yet. Anderson is in though. Tamer is in. These guys have decided to pit. That's risky. Kevin has decided to stay out one more lap. Who will make the right decision? Because currently those tyres aren't right. Currently those tyres aren't in the window. Mayverse made the wrong decision. Or did he? Because he was gaining towards the end there. Oh yeah, he's definitely made the wrong decision. Have the leaders made the wrong decision though? That's the question I want to ask. Because Mayverse is struggling. But is Mayverse just a shit driver? As Jix and Toro now battling coming out on these brand new soft tyres. We'll see how Anderson performs compared to Kevin. Anderson's decided to go on to mediums for some reason. Rajic to the outside on Tamer. And Rajic stays behind in the end. Oh, the gap is negligible between Anderson and Kevin. Oh, Anderson's all over the place. I don't think it's the right time for these tyres. I think Kevin may have made the right decision here. It looks bone dry on the track. Any other game, and this would be, if you're not on slicks, you're mad. Kevin's surely going to come in this lap though. DRS is enabled. Kevin may have got this perfect. Mayverse gets a 3-second time penalty, but Anderson is losing the back end every other minute, and that's a spin from a Mercedes. That's Mayverse! Mayverse, the first driver to go onto those tyres, and Little Tom also. They're off the circuit and have made mistakes. Now Kevin is losing time. Kevin is now losing time. He's decided to stay out. Why has Kevin stayed out? He's losing so much time. Mayverse is retired from the session. Safety car. So Mayverse has binned it, and that has saved Kevin's race. Why is he overtaking the safety car? What is he doing? Kevin's just overtaking the safety car. Has he fucked it? He hasn't been disqualified, so he will get to go around another lap at full speed. And Anderson's got to queue up behind the safety car. Oh my god, this game. Kevin's going to be a lap ahead of the pack. This is like Norris in Miami. See, if Kevin was sporting, he'd just not go as fast as he could do. He'd just let the guys behind him catch up. But he's not going to do that. This is super controversial because Kevin has bugged the system. He just overtook the safety car, flat out overtook the safety car. I think he should be disqualified for that. It was obvious he was supposed to stick behind the safety car, and he's exploited a loophole in the system, and he's now not even trying to retract that what he's done. In my opinion, that should be a straight up disqualification for Kevin. Unless it fixes itself. This time he's decided to stay out. I don't know why the fuck you decide to stay out in these conditions. But he's just straight up cheated everyone out of... He's going to be a lap ahead of everyone. Yeah, Kevin should be getting a DSQ for that. I said it first. I said it first. Kevin should definitely be having a disqualification for that as a disgrace. Oh, the safety car has to come in at the end of lap 9. But Kevin's going to catch up by that time. Werner's into the pits. He's allowed to come in for some soft tyres, I assume. The question is... I think Kevin will catch up in time. I genuinely think he can. Because how, like, let's see, his last lap was a 2:02. Oh, actually no, it'll be about the same. He's about 50 seconds a lap quicker than everyone. He's going to catch up to them by the end of to get the safety car restart. He's decided to come into the pits for some strange reason. Or now he's trying to consolidate his lead, his 1 minute lead. So safety car will be in at the end of this lap. But will it be in it when Kevin comes up to the back? Like, well, I'm so confused now because I don't think he's going to catch up to the safety car pack now. Obviously, if they're going to call it, it's going to be. They're not going to call it because these guys are on lap 8. People are talking about a cancellation of the race, or I think a postponement would be fair. Just do this race again next week or do it tomorrow. Safety car is in this lap. So Kevin's not going to be able to catch up. Safety car is in this lap. Anderson is just burning fuel. I think he's waiting for Kevin to catch back up to the pack. Alright, Kevin's calls up to the back of the pack. But Anderson will lead us away. He's already gone off a safety car restart. And now we have one of the strangest races in VDRL history. So Anderson leads. Tamer is second. Nico's on his third as Kevin has decided to come into the pits again for some fucking reason. He may as well come in every single lap. As now we come up towards the Camel Straight. Might not see any passes just yet. Actually, Rajic is suiting up on Nico-san for a move. If he can get there in time, he can't. He was suiting up for it though. As Ice Creamer and Jix fighting. Ice Cream overtakes Jix. And Ozanizik and JJ battling. That's Ozanizik up the inside of Little Tom now. They're trying to fight each other. Ozan gets through. But now Tamer oh so close behind not Kevin, behind Anderson. Tamer, can he do it? We're on lap 9. It says that we have 3 laps to go, so the safety cars come in with 3 laps to go. So now we are coming on to our penultimate lap in a second. Tamer Andari hasn't used all of his overtake. He's been sensible. He's using hot lap now, but he's got more ERS in the car in front of him. I think Tamer is in prime position to win this race. He just needs to not bottle it. Kevin is cruising around doing 140. I think he's trying to make it look like he's trying to give up the gap, but it's way too late. Rajic has set fastest lap of the race. Anderson leading the pack on these medium tyres. That was the wrong decision from Anderson to go onto the medium. He's going to be regretting that one. DRS will be open on this lap. Enzo's joined. Currently in 15th place. No DRS for Tamer for some reason. Not for any of the cars behind, but Toto now overtakes Nico-san. As Talha moves up into P7, but I think he might be losing out on these positions again. Race controllers enabled DRS for some reason here. Don't know what the fuck's going on, but they've somehow enabled DRS there. And now we see Anderson still leading the way. He just has one more lap to go here. This is going to be tough for him. I mean, Tamer has saved all his ERS. If I was him, I'd just burn a lot on this last straight so I can make sure I've got enough for the last lap. So I know I've got just the right amount until I go on to the last lap. Yeah, Kevin isn't going full pelt, I don't think. But Tamer is looking close. Rajic is looking close. It's a 4-way scrap for this lead. But who will get it? Is there going to be any DRS chicken going on? So, no DRS chicken as of yet. There's also no DRS being deployed for some fucking reason. I didn't see any DRS that time around. And now coming down the straight, overtake deployed for Tamer Andari. Here we go. Up the Kemmel straight. Now DRS is open for him. He's going to have all the advantage in the world, and so will Rajic. So Anderson goes from first to third, and it's free wide. It's free wide going into turn into the Maycom. It's shades of Hakkinen and Schumacher in 2000. Tamer gets barged out by Rajic, who takes the lead. But can Tamer get that position back as we come in towards the second sector? He can. He's going to go the inside himself. Dive bomb into Rivage. He pushes, he squeezes, and he gets into the lead again as we come in towards the middle part of the thing. Kevin has won, but we're not counting that. Qualified, I think. We're coming towards Piron. Can Tamer Andari hold on to this win? He's got the power. He's got the strength. He's going to hold the inside as well. He goes defensive, and that's just about kept him in position. But will Rajic fight back in towards the Blanchimont section of the circuit, completely flat out, and he should have enough of an advantage. Tamer gets a bit squirrely off the exit, but I think he should have it. Unless Rajic sends a crazy dive bomb into the last part of the circuit, I think this will be a Tamer Andari win. But Rajic has got the run. He's got slipstream. He's got power. He's got the overtake button deployed. Can he do it? To the outside he goes. Toro also trying to look for a move potentially, but round the outside potentially for Rajic. Can he get it done? Tamer squeezes him to the inside. He left the cars with, but Toro couldn't take it, and Tamer Andari will win in Spa. What a crazy race. What a crazy finish. What a crazy conclusion to that event. Oh my goodness me. Tamer Andari is your winner. Rajic came home second. Still comes home in that runners-up position. Toro third. Anderson takes fourth in the end. He led for that restart, but those medium tyres were just not it. Nico-san ended up retiring for some reason, or he left. He was fifth, so he was sixth, he left. Wow. So I'll take you through the running order. I mean, people are calling for a postponement. I don't necessarily disagree with that, but you can't take away from what Tamer Andari has done. What a race that was. Why is it a Ferrari on the podium? Oh yeah, because it's Kevin who officially won, but Kevin will be disqualified from that race for not abiding by safety car rules. He just overtook the safety car. But yeah, Tamer Andari is your winner here. I'm not sure if his fastest lap will also be disqualified, so if we go for the second fastest lap, it would be, I think, Rajic. Rajic would get the fastest lap if it was entirely disqualified. But yeah, Tamer, followed by Rajic, Toro, Anderson, Talha, Jix, Frobel, Ozan, Ice Cream, Little Tom, Jemblebum, Werner, Enzo, Nico-san. I mean, Nico-san was like 6th, I think. Then Mayverse was the first of the DNFers, and Damian and Don't Play Zero round out our. So we'll move into not the commentators booth. We'll move into the interview booth to see what the drivers are going to come up with. Oh, shit. There we go. Martin is in here. Our top 3 are in here. And Remus, for some reason, is in here.
Hello.
Hello. Were you in that? Was he in that race, Remus?
I was spectating my bookie mothers.
Okay, fair enough. Who finished third in the end? Because I've just completely forgotten, even though I just called it out. It was one of the Red Bulls, wasn't it?
Yeah, Toro. But he has, I don't know what he said.
If we can't get Toro in, we will move towards our second place man, but we'll wait for Z. I'll wait for the Martin message, see if he's going to come.
Yeah, Toro is here.
Oh, here we go. Here he is. Here he is. Here's the man, the myth, the legend. He's deafened at the moment, so I'll give him some time to prepare. Right, I'll wait for him to prepare because he's still deafened. Right. Just need some time to cool down after that interesting race. I'm not sure if Toro's going to be able to undeafen himself. I'll at him in the chat and say, Toro, undeafen yourself, you spanner. I'll give him another minute or so. Just awkwardly waiting now. I could actually think of some questions in the meantime. I'm not sure if Toro's going to be unmuting.
I can reply for him if you want.
I don't think that would be good because we usually just do top three. But
Okay.
unfortunately, I would love to have some random come in, but no. Right. Right, Martin's told me to start with Rajic. So we're gonna go to our second place man momentarily. Our second place finisher in the Red Bull, Mr. Rajic. Obviously, you're in contention throughout that entire race. Obviously, the first start, which I don't even remember now, it was so long ago. And then towards the end in that second start, you were all for it. You had that last corner even battle with our eventual winner. How was that race from your perspective?
From my perspective, it was nice. The first part, before the back, I couldn't do nothing more because Nardo was too fast and I couldn't catch him. So he was taking more, even more gap and more. So I just took that P2, but then the back appeared, and then I found me into the fight, and yeah, I could win, but it's a very difficult race. With the rain, I don't know what happened. I had less pace than the others, but maybe it was because they had rain setup or with more wings that made me even slower. So yeah, it's a nice P2 with my teammate behind me. I don't know why he slowed up. That's the reason. But yeah, it was nice from my point of view.
Yeah. So obviously you didn't lose out on the final corner because you weren't in the lead on the final corner, but you tried to go for that move. Are you bummed that you couldn't get the win, or are you happy with the second place?
I mean, I could have get it, but the bus stop is a very tricky turn where there is no too much space for two cars, and then we crashed and I got P2, but I'm happy anyways.
That's fair enough. And lastly, let me just have a quick glance at the driver's standings. Let me quickly have a glance. So obviously, you finished ahead of Toro, and I'm not sure with all the pole positions and fastest lap points, but I think you may pull ahead of him into the lead of the driver's standings. How do you feel about that?
No, I don't think that he has the lead because I did P2 in the quali, that is 2 points, and then he did pole, that is 3 points. He got 15 plus 3 is 18, and I got 18 from P2 and 2 plus from the P2 in the quali. So I will be ahead of him by only 2 points, but it's not finished. It's the third race of the calendar, and there is too many tracks for it.
So you're not gonna say I'm now gonna win the championship because I'm ahead now. Right, I think with that we'll move on to our winner, first time winner here in VDRL. a driver who has been close on numerous occasions, Tamer Andari. How was that race from your perspective? Asking the same question I did before.
Hello. So, I had to serve my qualifying bond at the beginning, so I didn't have a lot of expectations. I thought maybe with a really good strategy and race, and if luck played into my hands, I'd get a top 5 finish. But yeah, really, really, really happy with how the races turned out. Few glitches here and there, and yeah, just overall happy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there were glitches. There were some things that went on, whether it be the actual lobby restart, the wet weather, the safety car, the whole thing. But nonetheless, you can't take away from the fact that you have won at the end of the day. And will you potentially take this on for your own title aspirations? Obviously, you missed, I think, the first race of the season, but you could still claw back some points and potentially get a win or two, and potentially even take the championship. What do you think of your aspirations?
Yeah, I mean, I joined the league quite early. Unfortunate that I missed the first race, so that's 25 points back set. But yeah, I mean, if performances like this are going to continue from my behalf, then I don't see why I can just edge out, like close up that gap, and yeah, hopefully by the end would be first.
Yeah, it was just a crazy race. I'm trying to think of another question, but I can't really think of one. Obviously, congratulations on your first victory here in VDRL. And what are the tracks coming up on the calendar that you're looking at and going, yes, I think I can get another win out here? And are you going to try and capitalize on those circuits in particular?
I mean, yeah, first of all, if I have a strong track, then I'm gonna do my best to make sure showcase a dominant performance. But apart from that, I mean, I also need to work on the weak tracks because I don't want to lose too much points there and gain too much gain points on the strong ones. But yeah, overall, I'm not sure what tracks are coming up, so I just prepare for it ahead of time. And yeah, hopefully this is one of many.
Yep, it will be one of many. I can tell you that for certain, mate. You've got the talent and you've got the skill and you've got the composure. So that should conclude today's interviews. Unfortunately, we couldn't get our third place man Toro's thoughts because he's still deafened in the voice chat. If we'd have still been waiting for him, that'd been fun. But thank you to him, thank you to Rajic, and thank you to Tamer Andari, our race winner, and thank you to all of the 20 drivers who competed today. It was a crazy one. A VGRL classic, if you want to call it that. Expect to see extended highlights on the F1 channel soon. But without further ado, I've been Nedzo, and I'll see you all